I'm telling them that I can't breathe. Clearly he don't give a damn about my plea. His ancestors used to hang us on trees. Today they identify as road police. You see I'm black, for that I'm a threat to America. My rise is their fall and their fall is evident. Blood on your hands is heavier than an elephant. Open up America's closet and see skeletons.
Welcome family, I'm Latonia and this is Reignite Sandy Speaks. Welcome to my channel. You guys, look. Let me keep it real. Where I'm at, it's hot. And so I closed the door and I turned the air conditioning on and opened the vent. So if you can hear the air conditioning, my apologies. I want it to cool off. I tried to open this window and I couldn't. Anyway, let me get into the introduction of what this video is about. You know what? I haven't even come up with the title of the video. I know where I'm going with it, but I got to be careful with the title because of the content. I am being by the host of this channel. Okay? Y'all figure it out. I'll put it in here right or whatever. Anyway, I want to say, I think I'm going to make this video called Why We Struggle to Compete in America, in this economy, why we struggle and our position in this country. And it relates to the brain function. And I've talked about this before, you guys, in other videos. So you might be familiar with it if you watched my videos. But what this is about is the brain and the brain function in human beings. Okay, and I'm not a doctor. I'm studying this because I recognize in myself that there's been some changes. I'm a victim of hate crimes by the state of California. I don't want to keep on going on and saying this, but I say it because I want you to be aware of what it looks like. I am like severely depressed and I'm suffering from anxiety. I'm suffering from depression and anxiety because I'm a black person in the state of California. Okay? And I'm a victim of crimes. Okay? And what I want to talk about is the brain function and what happens to the brain when it's confronted with stress, continuously confronted with stress. Okay, so let me kind of get into it. And the main thing, and if you are one of the Twitter family, and y'all know I'll be going on my little tangent about the reptilian brain. So there's three parts of the brain: the reptilian brain, the neocortex, and the limbic system, I think. You know, I'll talk about the limbic system sometime later on. I've got to study it. But today I'm going to talk about the reptilian brain and the neocortex. So the reptilian brain is the primitive part of the brain. It's the oldest part of the brain. If you don't know, human beings, we evolved. We evolved with our environment. We change and we grow and we evolve, right? And the prefrontal, I'm not saying it right. The reptilian brain, I think it's called, I forgot what it's called. I made notes, y'all, and I didn't save them, so I had to remake them. But, what is it called? It's a reptilian brain, but it's something else. It's the R complex is what it's called. The R complex. And see, I'm struggling with my memory because of what's happening to my brain under these conditions. So, the reptilian brain and the neocortex. The reptilian brain, again called the R complex, is the primitive part of the brain. It's the oldest part. And the function, what the nature of the reptilian brain is, it's also called the basal ganglia, the oldest part of the brain. I'm looking at my notes. So this part of the brain is for survival. Okay, it's to ensure immediate survival in the case of threat. So the characteristics of this part of the brain is aggression, dominance, ritualistic reactions, your territorial, and the fight, flight, or freeze response. I don't like how I sound, but I hope you guys are following along. And then it's the neocortex. The neocortex, and I think also called the prefrontal cortex, but the neocortex is the higher order brain, the higher order brain function. So it's responsible for things like reasoning, abstract thought, creativity, critical thinking. Okay? So again, we have two parts of the brain that we're going to talk about today: reptilian brain and the neocortex. And my understanding is that they work inversely. Okay, so and I've been studying this for a long time because I was in an abusive relationship with an abusive alcoholic for many years, and I struggled emotionally, and I witnessed different things happening to me in my body and my brain. Okay, and um y'all will hear me refer to my astrology chart because I'm into astrology, and my moon is in Gemini, and that's an air sign. So I'm very much rational. Like when things happen to me, I need to understand why. I'm also a Cancer, so I'm very emotional. I'm a female Cancer, so I'm mad emotional. You'll know that about me, and I'm not ashamed of that. I have hormones, and I'm a female, so I'm not ashamed of my emotions at all. But I'm also a Gemini moon, so I'm very rational in many regards. And for me to remedy problems, I need to have a better understanding. And I'm sharing this video with you. This is Reunite Sandy Speaks. The purpose of this channel is to highlight the inequalities of people like you and I, and that's what I'm documenting. And I'm going to do this under Reunite Sandy Speaks, but I might also tag it critical thinking, because I think it falls into the category of thinking critically. And I did not practice or create a script for this video. You could tell because I'm trying to wing it, and I might not be sounding the best right now. But anyway, what I want to say to you is that I'm sharing with you what's happening to Black people in this country, because we are under undue stress. Okay, and I want to say to the rest of America, based on what's going on politically, economically, non-Black people, I understand that you're under stress. I understand that times are hard for you as well. I get it. This is just not a good time in American history. So I don't want you to think, well, we're having problems too. I have issues with my job. I'm under stress. Yes, I understand that. That has to do with what's going on with American culture, that I believe that we need a reset. But as a people, Black people are unequal in this country, when we have been since they brought us here. And that's the nature of this channel. Is to highlight that and to bring that to the forefront, that we are not equal, in hopes on becoming equal, or creating legislation that tries to equalize our experience in America. And one of the major issues or harms that is done to Black people is emotionally, I want to say, I guess it's emotional, but what's happening to our brain. And so I haven't decided on what I'm going to title this video, but this is about our quality of life, our standard of living. This is America. And America is a capitalist society. And some people have an issue with capitalism. I don't have an issue with capitalism. Capitalism is survival of the fittest, right? That means you have to be strong, smart, diligent, and work hard. And I'm okay with that, right? But the playing field should be equal. But in reality, it's not, because we're all born in different situations. But the 14th Amendment is to ensure that Black people are equal in this country, but we're not. And because we're not equal, we suffer, and we suffer. I don't like to use the word suffer, but we are suffering. And we're being negatively affected emotionally and neurologically. Okay, so the vital part of the brain, the vital part of human beings is the brain and the heart, right? That's most vital. Your brain and your heart. And so, and as you see, because I am suffering from stress burdens, of being black in the state of California, I'm struggling with even communicating with you. I'm struggling with the thoughts coming to my mind and me wanting to discuss it. And that's because of the reptilian brain. Okay, so the reptilian brain is responsible for your bare functions: eat, sleeping, sexual activity, and safety, protecting yourself. Sorry, I pushed the button. That's the reptilian brain. Okay, so again, the reptilian function is the primitive part of the brain, and the primary function is eat, sleep, sex, and survival. Okay? The neocortex, sometimes it's been described as the human part of the brain. Okay? This is important, you guys, and please follow along with me. I know that I be sounding crazy and I be all over the place. I know that. And I'm working on trying to be straightforward, but just stick with me and be patient with me. I'm begging you, because what I'm saying to you is very important. So the neocortex it's what differentiates us from other species. Okay, it is sometimes referred to as the human part of the brain. It is responsible for higher order brain functions, reasoning, abstract thought, creativity, and critical thinking. So I'm gonna get my notes, you guys. So the neocortex and the reptilian brain works inversely. Okay, they don't work together. They don't work simultaneously. So the prefrontal cortex or the neocortex, I think it's still also the prefrontal cortex is the neocortex. So it's the neocortex and the reptilian brain, and they work inversely. Okay, the reptilian brain takes over. So you guys, I want to say this right, because I know this in different capacities, because I've been studying about this for many years. Okay, because I was in this abusive relationship and I was trying to function in this relationship, and I was struggling because I was always on high alert and felt threatened by being in this relationship. And that's what the reptilian brain does. The reptilian brain is when you're really stressed out, it takes over. Okay, so it minimizes or impedes on your ability to think critically. This is abstract thought. To think abstract thought. I won't get into that too deeply, but abstract thought is like being able to reason and see things in a variety of ways. Okay, and that again refers to us being able to function and compete in this country. Okay, if we're out here competing, looking for jobs, we have to market ourselves and we have to compete in this society. But if we are constantly under stress and the reptilian brain is taking over, we are at a disadvantage functioning. Okay, because our ability to think reasonably, to be creative, because the neocortex is for creativity. You know, if you're competing, if you have a job, regardless of the level of the job, if your reptilian brain is taking over, all it wants to do is eat, sleep, screw, and survive. And it also, I told you, aggression, territorial, dominance, ritualistic. So it's animalistic, okay? Because, and I think it's by nature of survival that if you're in threat, that you need to be territorial, you need to be aggressive, and you need to protect yourself. You know, in the caveman days when it was dinosaurs and shit trying to get you, that's what is the primitive part of the brain. But as we evolve, you know, we took shelter, we became a civilized society, and so the neocortex developed. And the neocortex, again, abstract thinking, creativity, critical thinking. And so, where am I going with this? I should have took notes and put together something for you guys, right? I know. But ultimately, you all, it's why many of us struggle in this country. Okay? And it's some things that I want to talk about and say. And I'm a positive person. Okay? And prior to me becoming a victim of anti-black hate crimes by the state, I always knew to think positive. even within this abusive relationship, I'm a Leo rising. um, and through being in corporate America, I learned about different techniques. I was a salesperson, so I learned about the importance of being optimistic, right? So when I hear negative narratives about Black people, Black men, Black women, it's disheartening, and I shy away from it. I'm the gatekeepers of my thoughts, so I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear crazy stuff. Black men are lazy, or Black men can't do this, or Black people are not intelligent, or Black people can't do things. I'm a Black person, so if I acknowledge that it has a chance on impeding on my ability, or how I perceive my life. There's a specific word I'm looking for, but it's not coming to me. I'm so sorry, you guys. When I do this, the words don't come, and it's because of my condition of being depressed. Outlook. That's what I'm looking for, I think. Your outlook on life. Okay, so if you're taught that, if you believe that in this country that things are set against you, right? That people in the powers that be are set up against you, you are less likely to perform because you believe that your effort's not going to make any difference, right? You guys, hope y'all paying attention, because I sound like I'm not really doing a good job at this, but I'm gonna stick with it. My brain is numb, you guys, because I'm depressed. So I'm struggling with the ability to function and think. I should have did this video a long time ago, and there's no time like now. And I want you to understand that I'm doing this video for you and I. I want you guys to be aware of what's happening, because the solution to this is awareness. If you know that we live in conditions that are very stressful, and that this condition creates a malfunction in our brain, and that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it malfunction, because when you default to the reptilian brain, is aggression, territorial, dominant, and ritualistic. It makes it almost impossible or strained to engage socially with one another. If we are aggressive and we're always on high alert, it prevents us from critical thinking. I took notes and reasoning, and what I want to say is it prevents us from like engaging socially. Okay, because I don't want it could be offensive to some, and that's not the purpose of this video. Okay, remember, the reptilian brain goes into takes over, and if you are under a lot of stress, and you're tired and you're exhausted, and you experience anxiety and stress in your life, it's a great possibility that you are operating with the reptilian brain. And so if you're operating with the reptilian brain, when I'm reading this to you, it's going to be very hard for you to be objective. You're going to get offended, because what's happening is, if I'm talking to Black people, about Black people, and you're a Black person, unconsciously and consciously, you are going to feel threatened, because the words that I'm saying is negatively framing us as a people. Okay, and when we have a threat in our brain, our ego, our brain, that thing, what have I told you guys what it was called? The some ganglia or something. What is it called? It's called the basal ganglia. Okay, and I hope I'm saying it properly. It's another part of the brain too that sounds like that. You guys, I majored in finance, so I don't know this stuff. I'm trying to learn it. Okay, so but ultimately it's the part of the brain. And this part of the brain, I think one of the other primary functions is memory. Okay? And so it harbors memories. So for example, the memory of George Floyd, the memory of Elijah McClain, okay? Consciously, we can detach ourselves and say, okay, this happened to individuals, it didn't happen to us. But unconscious, we know that it happened to them because they're black. And as black people, unconsciously, we are going to feel a threat. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. Why I'm not disclosing who this person is and telling you everything he's saying, because I don't want you to get offended. I want you to be able to use your neocortex part of your brain and think critically. Okay? If you're offended and you're angry and it's taken personal, you are going to go into fight or flight. You are going to feel territorial. You're going to feel aggressive. And family, that's what's happening to us. And I'm learning about this and I'm looking for solutions. But what I know is awareness is one of the answers. So I'm going back to this guy. So the Black American children are more likely to sit out on the sidelines and do nothing. I'm trying to fix that problem. I have purchased a lot of incentives. So this person created a program. He lived in New York. You don't worry about who he is. Y'all know who it is. He lived in New York. He moved to a city in the Northeast that's highly populated with black youth, and it's a issue with poverty and crime, and I think violence among young black men. Okay, he went to this area to try to make it better and help it. And see, this is the thing. We can try to fix these conditions and put ourselves in better positions and improve our quality of life, but we have to be aware. I want to curse y'all because I want to be aggressive. What we're dealing with. And so when I think about it, my mind, my heart is racing. I get angry and I get aggressive. That because I understand the threat. My heart is racing. Okay? I understand the threat. I understand what's happening. What I understand that it's going to be, I'm not going to say impossible, but very complicated to remedy. If we default to this reptilian brain or complex, which ensures our immediate survival, we will kill a motherfucker, will fuck you up. Pardon the French. See that aggression? That's what happens because all the brain wants to do is to protect itself. It wants to protect its person. That is the function. Okay? The more advanced portion of the vein brain, I think it has two hemispheres. It's two hemispheres of the neocortex, higher order function of the brain. Higher order brain function. Do you understand what that means? Higher order brain function. Higher order means that it is responsible for higher order in terms of, should I say, I want to say priority, but I'm not, the words are not coming well, and I hope you understand the more difficulty. I understand what this means, but I want to make sure you understand higher order brain function. That means the more advanced brain function. See the words coming. See how I myself am struggling to engage, to talk. So to give you an example, if I'm competing with someone for a talk show or a spot, in a talk show, okay, as a person doing commentary, see the words don't even come, and it's someone who has not experienced the same anti-black hate crimes or experience in life where they're always feeling threatened. If they walk in the store and people look at you crazy, you know why they're looking at you, even if we know why they're looking at us. This part of the brain, I want to say it's a basal ganglia, but I think it's another part. Maybe it'll come to when I'm here. What is it called? I don't know. I got to think about it. But it's the part with the memory of the brain. Okay, so if I walk in a store and someone look at me crazy, or look at me, I know why they're looking at me. I know they see a black person, so they already got negative thoughts about me. And although consciously I know this is a person who's being anti-black, this is a person who's being racist, consciously I'm going to move forward, but unconsciously in my mind, my feelings are hurt. Unconsciously in my mind, I feel threatened, right? And so say someone may walk up to me or get in front of me, cut me in line, or whatever. I am prone to this reptilian function, this reptilian brain, to be aggressive, to be angry, to be on high alert. Where if I lived a life of harmony in this country, well, I'm not continuously being a threat. I'm not continuously on high alert. And so, you know what? I'm going to give you the example. It's a book that I read a long time ago. It's called Neoplast. Neo something. You guys, where's my phone at? Where's my phone? You guys, give me just a second. Wait a second. I know. Y'all, how long is this video? Okay, I'm starting all over again. I erased part of it. I hope I didn't erase the wrong one. Anyway, this is neo-sculpting. And I bought this book probably 10 years ago because, again, I was in an abusive relationship. So I suffered from anxiety and depression in this relationship. And neo-sculpting was helping you rewire your brain, okay? And the example that she gave in the book would help me understand. It was like, say you had a long day, and it was a hard day, long day, and you're under a lot of stress. And you go to the post office, and someone stands in front and gets in front of you. Is your brain going to default to the neocortex, where it's like, oh, this person just got in front of me, and you just very rationally and reasonably, excuse me, ma'am, I think I was next? Or are you going to respond aggressively, like, excuse me, bitch, like, I was next? Which brain? Which part of the brain? And that depends on your conditions, how much stress you've been under. Okay, so, and I hope I'm explaining this in a way where you guys get it. I do really want you guys to participate. Again, I know I'm not doing the best presentation, but what I want is for this to be a joint effort. I want you guys to watch videos about the reptilian brain. I want you to examine your own life, examine your own situations, and ask yourself, when I say this, my heart races. I get excited. I feel sick. And you know why? Because I know many of you suffer from this. I know many of you are angry and tired. Okay? So this is just not black people. This is the way the brain functions. And the purpose of the reptilian brain, it is ensure immediate survival. So if we are under threat, it becomes dominant, aggressive, territorial, which is not the best way to present yourself in a society amongst other people. If you're aggressive, territorial, not rational, not reasonable, not thinking critically, there's going to be more it's going to be more problematic. And so, and you know what, family, I don't feel comfortable saying this because I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all to death, right? And I don't like saying negative stuff about us, okay? It's just like, it makes me ill. To be honest, like, it gives me anxiety. Like, I don't like to think bad, negative thoughts about black people because I'm a black person, okay? So I'm going to have to learn to talk about it and deal with it and express it with you in a way where we're aware and we're trying to combat it, okay? I'm involved in different spaces. Like I have different conversations. You know, I like to debate and talk about stuff. I talk about astrology. I like, you know, social media. We be talking about all kinds of stuff, right? And sometimes in certain like discussions, and this y'all give me anxiety. People be talking to each other and they disagree, and someone to yell, and then although say like they take ad hominems, they'll start saying like personally attacking them. I'm like, wow, you know, and you guys, I'm really melodramatic, okay? I am a crybaby and I am melodramatic, and when I hear that, because I'm a Cancer and I'm also an empath, you guys, so I feel other people's emotion. So if I see someone arguing, it gets me really bad anxiety because I don't want them to argue because I can feel the tension, the pain, and aggression. Okay, so if you've been in a room with me, you see me cry, react, that's because I feel it. Like it's me. Okay? And so when I'm in these spaces and I hear them fighting, you guys, sometimes I'll become aggressive. Sometimes I'm like, why are you doing that? I'll yell at them. I'll start screaming and like, why are you doing that? Then I become this reptilian brain. It manifests because I feel threatened. I feel threatened by me and us as a people fighting amongst each other. And I'm thinking, are we ever going to be able to get together and remedy the problems of society and how we are treated? How are we going to do this if we're in these rooms arguing and fighting? And guys, I want you to understand this is happening because this reptilian brain is taking over. And the word I'm looking for, it's involuntary. I want you to understand the purpose of this. The function of this brain is to ensure survival. So the brain thinks it has to become territorial about its space, about its property, about its person. That it has to become dominant to prevent something from harming it. Okay? And that's what we're seeing in these rooms. And I'm going to give you an example to this person. If you see this video, you know I love you. I love you to death. You guys, I have a friend. And I love them to death. This person is a Pisces. And you know about astrology. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio are water signs. We're ruled by emotions. So we're emotional. So Pisces are like Cancers. They're loving and they're sweet and they say things to make you laugh. They want to warm up to you. They want to make you happy. That's I think I'm competitive with Pisces as a Cancer. Like, who's the better human being, Cancer or Pisces? But they say Pisces are more loving and understanding than Cancers. So they say. And this person is a Pisces. And my heart, I love this person because I see this person's heart. But I think this person was raised in an environment where there was a lot of aggression, that he didn't feel loved, that he didn't feel prioritized. So he and I sometimes have conflict because he defaults to this reptilian brain. And sometimes he says aggressive things to me, or he'll say things that hurt my feelings. And you guys, it hurts my feelings. Right? Unconsciously, I'm hurt. Consciously, I'm hurt. But because I hold myself out to be an intellectual and intelligent and in control of my emotions sometimes, and awareness, I'm a critical thinker, I have greater reasoning, I know this person's behavior is based on his condition, his pathology. That he defaults to this aggressive, angry person because when I say things to him that he doesn't agree with, that he doesn't like, he immediately feels threatened. You know, and this is really hard for me. This just happened about 2 hours ago. Okay? Because I really like this person. He makes me laugh. It's my boo. I really love him to death, you guys. Like, this is not a romantic thing. This is like, I love him like my brother probably. Or, you know, just another human being. He just makes me laugh. And I know he cares about me. Right? I know he cares about me. And I know he likes me. right? Like friendship, right? We're cool, right? It's times that he's had my back. And we like each other. And so we just have fun together. But when I say things to him that are foreign, that he doesn't understand, or not even understand, that he doesn't agree with, he becomes aggressive. He yells at me. He says belittle and demeaning things to me. Then he hangs up the phone. And so in this society, let's talk about this. In this society, what we're taught, we have to protect our energy. We don't want to be around toxic people. That person means me no good. I need to protect myself from being with this person who says toxic and demeaning things to me. And if you know me, you know that I don't subscribe to that. That in this world, in this country, in this community, we are taught to create boundaries, to detach from people who are problematic or who are toxic, to save our energy. And so, how do we function? How do we be better as a group if many of us, a large percent of our people, it is our people, our group, are behaving in this way? Do we say, he's too toxic, he's aggressive? He been hurting my feelings, y'all. He been getting on my nerves. Me and him fight all the time. And I block his ass. Okay? But I love him dearly. I love him dearly. I'm trying to mess this up, you guys. I love him dearly. And I was just thinking earlier, what do I do? My ego, the ego part who wants to protect me, I ain't talking to him no more. I don't want nothing to do with him no more. I'm not putting myself in that position no more because he drains me. But this is a person who I love, who makes me laugh, who I enjoy being with, that it's times that he had my back and he protected me. And so that masculine, aggressive, territorial behavior is indicative of his condition. He's a black man in America. And first, he's a man. And as a man, how we're socialized that the man is to be in control. Feminists may not get along. May not agree with this. I'm not a feminist, so don't get mad at me. But as a man and masculinity in society, it's kind of moving away from that. But his manhood is on the line. And that's what's happened to a lot of my brothers. Is that they're the man. And in this world, where they're hearing all this negative stuff, we see police killing them. They're showing them fighting, robbing, participating in illegal activity. And this person is nothing like that, okay? He's a sweetheart. But I believe he was raised in an environment, I think he lost his parents. And I think he was raised in an environment where he wasn't given these tools to talk and have difficult conversations. So let me say this to you. I was raised by an alcoholic, okay? My family life wasn't the most functional. I don't think any family is functional, right? But how I learned how to have difficult conversations, because I worked in corporate America. And I used to have to negotiate. And when you negotiate, you're negotiating with something. They have a goal and objective. I have a goal and objective. And we have to come to a meeting of the minds. And sometimes I want things that they don't want to happen. Vice versa. So I learned to have these difficult conversations without being angry. If I want this person, I'm a salesperson. And I want this person, this decision maker, to do what I want them to do. But they have their own objectives. They have their own goals, objectives, and needs. And I have to make them become a mutual beneficial relationship. And this conversation could be difficult. Usually it's around money. I'm a salesperson. It's usually surrounding around money. So they want this product at a cheaper price, and they want me to throw all this stuff in there, okay? And so, do I default to the reptilian brain? Do I get angry and aggressive? No, I'm not gonna get anything that way. So I am calm, and when they say something that could be offensive, not in line with what my needs and goals are as being a representative of this company, I can't be domineering. I can't be aggressive. I can't be territorial. I need to communicate to this person that I want what's best for them and me. I want to have a mutual beneficial relationship. That's how I learned it. Because I was raised with family. I'm a black woman in America. Y'all know black families. You know how black families are. Y'all know how we are, right? We don't take kind. We don't play, okay? Right? That's how we were raised, right? And that's because we're raised in this environment where we're always having to protect ourselves. We're always having to be on high alert, right? We know this, right? I want to tell you, listen, if y'all have me sitting here talking shit, listen, I'm about to make this video. Because my daughter, she gonna get mad, Gabo. You saw her for a couple examples. You know, she was one of a few black kids in a basketball team. It was one little black boy. And they used to make jokes among the white people. Their white classmates, their white sports mates. We have black moms. We got a black mom, right? And it was, listen, I don't want to offend anybody, but my daughter, her and this black kid, she went to, I raised my kids in suburbia, so it was a very small percentage of black people. It was, my kids grew up in like white, Asian, Latino, like a good mixture, but maybe a small percentage of black, people in where my kids grew up, which my daughter went to private school, and she played basketball. I remember her telling me that her and one of the another black ball player, it was like, we got a black mom. That's because when she used to play, y'all, I used to be on her like, girl, I'm one of the moms in the audience, like, you better do this, you better do that. Look, I'm gonna be on my tangent right now, right? Yeah, I want to tell y'all more about my daughter playing basketball. When I didn't show up, they was like, when you didn't come, she be playing. She wasn't really playing hard. She was just having fun. My daughter is the shit, y'all. My daughter's really very talented. She's really outgoing. But I was like a helicopter mom. I was like, you better do your best kind of mom, right? And I used to push her like, girl, you better do this, do that. I used to give her a hard time about practicing her jump shot, okay? So, and when she would play, I'd be like, girl, you better go, you better do this. You know, I'm one of the moms, right? And her and another little black boy, they say, yeah, we have black moms, so you don't get it. And yes, I know not just black women are like domineering about raising their kids, right? But we do have a reputation about pushing our kids, right? So what I'm trying to say in my long ass video while I'm on my tangent is about our experience in America, and regarding this guy who's my friend. Like, I care about him deeply, y'all. And I don't know how to get him to understand or be aware. When he defaults to this person, he'll scream at me. He'll hang up the phone. And I'm not offended. Because it's not personal. His intentions is not to harm me. His intention is not to hurt me. His intention is to protect him, his ego, his person, himself. And the brain defaults to the reptilian brain. And family, I really care about this person too, you guys. This is my babe. I love him to death. He makes me laugh. He feels like home in many ways. But he struggles with engaging with someone when there's a difference of opinion. And family, as black people, we're not all the same. The phrase is that we're not a monolith. And we shouldn't be. I'm not looking for anyone to be just like me. I look and I thrive for people who are different from me. That's how I grow, right? So if we're different and we're having discussions and we have different opinion, we have to be mindful. The neocortex is going to be reasonable. It's reasoning. If this person is saying something I don't agree with, do I get mad? Okay, because I'm going to tell you what happened, because I know it's what happens to the brain. I read a lot of books, y'all, okay? I've been this my whole life. If the brain feels threatened, the ego feels threatened. The ego feels like you're attacking me. Unless you are trained on this or you were raised in a certain environment, you are going to be, you might want to argue and fight. This is not just black people. This is just like, this is, how should I say? I want to, you guys, I'm on a tangent and this video is going to be long and I'm going to keep it. I'm going to edit it in a way where it's not too long. It's probably going to be long because this is like we're discussing, we're talking about it. And I want y'all to understand. I feel more conversational and I feel like I'm a little bit more compelling by talking about my friend. Okay. And so if you see that in yourself, it's awareness. It's awareness. Yeah. I'm going to give you another example. Family, I love you. And I'm not saying if you're listening to me, if you feel threatened, if you feel like I'm saying bad things or I'm talking negatively about you or us, I want you to be aware. So, because what happens, are you anti-black? You talking about black people? Oh, white people do that. Other people do it, ain't just us. That's defensive. That is the reptilian brain that's trying to protect you from the words that I'm saying and the idea that our brains default to this reptilian function, this animalistic, that is not. Remember, the neocortex differentiates from us from other species because it is the human part of the brain. It's the reasoning, the creativity, the abstract thought, the critical thinking. If we as a people are defaulting to this, I love you. And some of y'all gonna get mad. Sometimes I get attacked for saying the words that I'm saying. But I'm asking you to be aware. If you're mad at what I'm saying, probability is that your brain is defaulting to the reptilian brain. And you feel threatened. Because I'm saying that we're like animals. We're like a fucking reptile. No. It's part of the brain. We also have this neocortex. I gotta listen to the neo-sculpting. I haven't listened to that in years. And so we could start coming up with solutions. But yeah, I'm gonna give you another example. If you are in spaces with me, you may have heard me say this before. My daughter was raised in suburbia. And we can't get soul food in suburbia. So my daughter's biracial, if you don't know, right? My daughter's biracial. And I would take her to Baldwin Hills. I think I'm saying it right. That's where Magic Johnson created, like he infused money into the black community, to businesses and stuff. And actually, I think my white husband told me about this space. I think it's like a 99-cent soul food place, whatever. It's like in LA. I think I'm saying it right. Baldwin Hills, Crenshaw area. I don't know it very well, but that's where we go to get soul food, right? So, and I think this was maybe she's maybe Belizean or something, but it was a black woman. I can't remember her nationality, but it was a black woman. And we went to go get food. And she was talking to me crazy. She was like, you want this? You want that? You want this? She was like talking to me real crazy. And y'all, I don't like, as a customer, I don't usually let people talk to me crazy. Right? Like, excuse me, ma'am? I beg your pardon? My daughter's like, Mommy, I thought you was going to curse her out. I said, no, baby. That's how they talk to each other. Family, don't get offended. I said, that's how they talk to each other. My daughter was like, Mom, when we left, she was like, I thought you was going to curse her out. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I have to laugh. Because you know how we are, y'all, okay? How we could be, right? We was ordering food and the lady was talking to me real crazy. But she was like one of them grandma types, right? Like, which one you want, girl? This one? No, I got this. You know, she was like that. And we left, my daughter was like, Mommy. I'm sorry, family. Don't get offended. Please don't get offended. But I am describing the differences in society. Okay? When you're talking to one another like that, it breeds aggression. It breeds conflict. Because the ego takes over, and the ego's like, why are you talking to me like that? What? I don't want shit. This one. I'm talking, this was years ago. My daughter's grown. She's grown. She was probably like, this was probably at least 10 years ago, okay? But her being raised in suburbia and her impression, her experience, and how she would communicate to me about blackness and her experience seeing black. She would communicate to me honestly. And I would actually giggle to myself, like, you know, I would laugh like my white daughter. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, okay? But what it allowed me to do was see the distinction in our culture. And family, again, if you're hearing what I'm saying, if you're angry or offended by what I'm saying, I'm going to ask you to try to be reasonable. Try to understand that I'm sitting here and I'm putting myself through saying these things about my family, my people, because my purpose is liberation. My purpose is for us to live in harmony and improve our quality of life. Okay? I can control the WCC, WSCC. I'm going to put it in the comments what that means, okay? And you can find me on Twitter and ask me and I'll tell you, right? Because there's being issues, my videos are being not produced or accepted equally to other videos because there is this energy and this consciousness to suppress. And so what do? Do we lay down and let them fuck us in the ass? Or do we become aware of what's going on and we work it out? We become aware of what's going on and we work it out. See, I know the intellect level of my people. I know the tenacity, the intellect, the ability. I know because I'm one of them. And I see it everywhere. Right? And so what I want is what's best for us. So we need to be aware of this reptilian brain. Yeah, I want to go on a tangent. I'm about to wrap this up. I think I've said what I wanted to say. I'm going to probably make a part 2. I'm going to have to edit this video appropriately. But what I want to talk about, when y'all see them chicks out here bouncing their asses like they bouncing their ass, that's reptilian brain. It's eat, sleep, fuck, and protect. Eat, sleep, fuck, and protect. So let me just shake my ass. Let me show you how I can give head. Let me show you how I can bounce my ass. Don't let me tell you how I can think, how creative I can be. Don't let me push in the forefront how I can think critically and come up with solutions and ideas to sell a product or to create a business or to create an empire. Don't let me, I don't want to be able to be reasonable and reasoning skills when I have problems and issues that are presented in life. No, my brain as a people frequently, not all of us, we all don't get down like that. You want to shake her ass. Why we like to see her ass shaking? Why y'all like to see her shit bounce? That's that reptilian brain. Why you don't care about how she is as a mother? Is she a good mom? Is she a loving mom? Is she a good problem solver? Why you just like to see her ass shake? Or how she could put a banana down her fucking throat? That's animalistic. That's a reptilian brain. Remember, the neocortex differentiates from other species. Like when I see these chicks out here acting the whole fool, I'm like, y'all like a fucking dog in heat. And I post a little picture of a dog sniffing another dog's ass. Just animalistic. I love y'all. Y'all want to come for me? Be nice. Be in control of that reptilian brain. You got some negative comments? I ain't mad. I'm open. We can talk about it. Remember, I can have difficult conversations. But no ad hominems. That means don't personally attack me. Don't say I'm anti-black and I hate myself or some crazy shit like that. Because it's to the contrary. I can never. I love me a whole lot. That's why I love you. Because I love me. See? Anyway, y'all. I don't know what I'm going to name this. But what we talked about is the reptilian brain and the neocortex and why we are seeing these behaviors and attitudes. You know, I'm going to talk about it more in other videos. I think I've talked about when black people are stopped by the police and they behave aggressively. Again, it's fight, flight, or freeze. Because amygdala, I think it's called in the brain. I might be mistaken. If you're a neurologist or into neurology, you know about the brain, share. If I'm incorrect, tell me. This is a group effort. Okay, and to the non-black people, this is for the embetterment of society, of our community. Okay, we're in a society together. So this is not to take away from someone else. This is not to harm anyone else. This is not to make myself say I'm better or more important than you. See, I'm not a racist. So I don't have to distinguish myself and say I'm better. You ain't shit or I don't like. No, I like me. That kind of behavior is by people who feel inferior, who feel threatened, who don't have great self-esteem. I rock with everybody. Okay, I enjoy hanging out with Asian people. I enjoy hanging out with white people. I enjoy hanging out with all groups because I'm the kind of person that I like to learn and grow. And these different groups have a different experience, their life experience, in their home life. Even like if you're from Italy or you are from somewhere in Europe, you're Irish, you know, I have an interest in learning, and that's me. That I like to learn shit, y'all. Okay, so I know in certain spaces that there are black people who want to isolate. I was in a room, divide, or what is it? Delineate and delineate and divide. I'm not a separatist, okay? But I know that there's black people who feel that way. And I'm not like judging them or having a negative opinion of them. They feel that way because that's their solution to the harm that's been done to us. They're saying, oh, I can't trust these people. They just want to hurt me. They don't mean me no good. Why would I want to be around them? If you're a non-black person, please understand that. That's how the brain defaults to that, because to them, that's common sense. To them, if we see black people being attacked, being harmed by law enforcement, we see constantly us being treated unequal. What is the natural instinct? The natural instinct, oh, let me get away from this threat. This is a threat to me. Okay? And I understand that. I don't default to that because I'm trying to function with my neocortex, reasoning, abstract thinking, critical thinking. Understand if this person means me no good, who wants to harm me, doesn't like me because I'm black. I'm understanding because I'm a reasonable critical thinker, because that ain't about me. That's about them. That's about their upbringing. That's about how they were taught. That's about them feeling insecure. So I don't take on their shit. That's how I deal with it. Not saying how someone else deals with it. Now, I find myself in a precarious situation because I married a person, a white person, and because I married him, I was harmed. Great harm was done to me because I chose to be around these people. Okay? Some black people like, what the hell is wrong with you? You better stay away from them people. You crazy? You understand? That's their take on it. And I want you to understand that's why they feel that way. This is how they're trying to protect themselves. Now, I'm a different animal in many respects. Like I talked about my friend who when we talk, he talks to me crazy. I know what first came to my mind is now like, you thinking, you got low self-esteem. What came to my mind is that many of you were going like, girl, you got low self-esteem. No, I don't think so. I think I have great self-esteem. I'm just loving and I'm understanding. And I idealize things. And I think God put me on earth for a purpose. And my purpose is to liberate my people and make them aware and bring us together and improve our quality of life. And that begins with an education. We have to understand what's happening, right? Y'all been on a tangent. This one part of this video is 34 minutes. I'm going to do what I can to try to cut this up. It's going to be a long video. So when you watch, y'all, I like to talk. And then you see my brain's kind of flowing now. It takes me a minute to get into the string of things. But also, you know what? I think I'm going to try to do a second video after this. And it's about our image and our image in this country and how we are influential and in part responsible for how we're perceived in this country. I think we'll do that video next after this. Anyway, family, thank you for joining me. I really want you guys to participate. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, please say so. And you know, I'm not looking for conflict. What I'm looking for is solutions. And this is one of the reasons why I gravitate to people who are different than me, because that's how you grow and learn. You might say something that's totally contradictory of what I'm saying. And because I can be reasonable and I can reason, if you say something that makes sense to me and it is contrary to what I'm saying, it helps me grow and learn. And it also helps the other viewers grow and learn. So I don't know what I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this video something. Anyway, listen, y'all. I'm the 20th. And this is Reunite. Sandy Speaks. Y'all come fuck with me.
They killing us for walking, killing us for jogging, kill us in our homes and fabricating and hiding. Where we had Sandra Bland's and Trayvon Martin's. If when you kill us, your family was a target. If your children was orphans, when you had compassion and next time you approach us, yeah, we fed up, this is built up, your city up in smoke, homeboy, we had enough. And I ain't enticing riots of violence, heighten the climate. I'm saying you smack me, I'm punching you in your iris. Retaliation is prescribed in both Bible and Quran. In the matters of the slang, see an eye for an eye, especially if the Justice Department do not comply.